Welcome back to Acreage Adventures, where today we're working on my driveway. As you can see, the driveway is about 30 years old and it could use some work. There are lots of cracks and deep spalling. Based on the size of my driveway and prices in the area, I suspect replacing all this concrete would probably run me many tens of thousands of dollars. So we're hoping that with about 30 hours of our own labor and $2,000 in materials, we can avoid that cost. The first step in this project was to prep the area. In our case, the grass has obviously grown right up to the driveway and in some cases grown right on top of it. So what we decided to do was cut it all back and make a little trench. Initially I did this just to make sure I had the grass pulled back far enough, but it was a real help in other ways too. Namely, when we were power washing or applying the bonded topping mix, having the trench next to the driveway gave excess water and concrete somewhere to go. If we hadn't done it this way, we would have had a lot more issues. Once the grass and mulch was all pulled back, we cleaned up the mess we made and got ready to power wash. I started power washing with a corded pressure washer that I have, but just like Tim the Tool Man Taylor, I realized right away that I would be needing more power. So I called my dad and he brought over something far more suited to the task, a gas-powered 3000 psi machine. As you can see, it did a much better job and even got the rhythm right, so sometimes it looks like we're moonwalking while we do it. After getting about half the power washing done, we decided to switch gears and deal with the large crack. It's a bit tough to make out in the video, but there's a very large crack that ran down almost to the exact middle of the driveway. What that tells me is that we obviously should have had a middle relief cut all along, and we're going to rectify that a little later in the video. For the moment though, we're going to cut along the crack to make it deeper so that it's more likely that the crack repair product works. With the crack cut out, it was back to power washing, which went late into the evening. The next morning I realized we may not have done our best work in the dark, and so I redid some of those last sections. I was also finding that there were small loose bits of concrete in the badly spalling sections, and I really wanted to make sure all of that was flaked off before we tried to adhere anything to it. So unfortunately, this was a lot of extra work, but I really do think it helped with the final product. Now that the deep power washing is truly done, I get to work on repairing that large crack. If you couldn't make it out well before, you can definitely see it now that I put the concrete repair material down. While I waited for the repaired sections to cure, there happened to be exactly one section I could try applying the bonded topping mix to. Right as I started to do it though, a massive wind comes out of nowhere. Oh, and also knocks over the camera. It was a bit ambitious to try and broom a section that's 10 feet wide all by myself as well. After giving the repaired crack the appropriate amount of time to cure, I convinced my father to come help me with the remaining sections. Also of note as we work on the other sections is that we tried a few different techniques to keep the topping mix out of the existing relief cuts. For the section I did alone, I used weather stripping. That didn't work as well as I would have hoped, so for the next section we tried cardboard strips. That worked well to keep the concrete out, but ended up making the sections against the cardboard higher than the rest. Eventually we stopped fussing with the relief cuts and decided to simply cut them back out afterwards. Ultimately, we knew we'd be renting a concrete saw to make a new middle cut anyway, and I think that was the right idea. After completing two sections, we decided to modify our approach on the deeply spalled areas. For those, we would now apply some topping mix first to fill in the holes, and then once it was partly cured, we'd apply a second layer where we would try to get it nice and level. Ultimately, we still had some impressions left on our top layer where the holes had been, but I think this was the right idea. As we work on this area closest to the camera, I want to talk about the possible limitations of what we're doing. After doing some research on this, I found a product that the manufacturer claims is for this exact purpose, among some others. However, when we went to buy the product, we ran into an employee at the hardware store, and he was quite sure that what we wanted to do wasn't going to work. In his experience, this product is better used for leveling basements, and he was concerned that it would go on too thin, become brittle, and flake off when used on a driveway. This was obviously not what we wanted to hear, and doubly so as the employee was saying it was an older gentleman with lots of confidence. That said, this particular employee didn't have any better suggestions, so I reread the bag and decided it was worth the gamble. Now, I've obviously finished the driveway by the time you're watching this video, and for the most part, I think that employee was wrong. In almost every section of the driveway, it feels really well bonded and solid. Ultimately, in my part of the world, we get very severe winters, so the real proof will be how it looks in the spring, but so far, I'm feeling confident. That employee wasn't totally off base though either. In this section closest to the camera, we did experience the kind of flaking I think he was talking about. I'm not a concrete expert, but my best guess is that this section was actually the best part of our driveway, so there was less surface area for the new concrete to bond to, and it also went on quite a bit thinner. So if you're going to do this or something similar to this, I would recommend doing it on a driveway with a lot of spalling and try not to cheat on the good areas by leaving it extra thin. The next morning I didn't have my usual helper, so my wife had to help me finish the last two sections. After letting the concrete cure, it was time to make that long-awaited relief cut. The concrete had been waiting 30 long years for this, so hopefully it prevents that old crack from coming back through. I have to say that I was really happy with the saw we rented. I nearly ended up with a hand one and didn't even realize they had these ones on wheels, but luckily we found it because it made that really long cut down the middle so much easier than it would have been. The only problem with doing those relief cuts was it coated the driveway with concrete dust. So just like Bill Murray's character Phil Connors waking up on Groundhog Day, we are again washing off the driveway. At this point, it's probably cleaner than the interior of the house. You'll also see as my wife finishes washing the last section that some of it does flake off. If we had more time, I might have tried applying a thicker layer of the topping mix to that last section again, but instead we'll try our luck sealing it and hope the color matches well enough that it's not that noticeable. You'll see at the end that this sort of worked out. I think we did a reasonable job of getting the areas that were originally patchy to be the same color, but we also created some new issues with roller lines. After the first coat, it didn't look good at all, and even after the second coat, we still have some pretty visible lines. But at this point, rather than spend another $300 on another coat, I'm going to give it some time and see how it looks in the spring. Hopefully between the sun, winter, and time, it evens itself out, but if not, one final coat would probably do it. So with that, I'm calling it done. Again, with the cinematic closing shot, you can see it's not quite how I want it yet. But as we zoom in, you can see that the really important part, that the concrete repair seems to have gone well, and there are no more cracks or spalling. Anyway, hopefully this saved my driveway. I'll let you know in the spring.
Wow, that's crazy!